You're still too stiff, Dad.
Oh.
It's your shoulders, mostly. You look as if you're playing a piano.
Thank you very much, Andrew. I like the image.
You're getting better, though.
But you don't think I'm ready for Epsom yet?
Just relax. Move with the horse.
Yeah. I know the principle. All I need is more encouragement, especially from you.
It's more practice you really want. Because when people get older, it's the regular training that counts. All the old footballers say that. Anyway, remember about the shoulders.
Do with some toast.
That is intended as a joke, of course.
And what's funny about toast?
Exactly.
I like toast. Got any biscuits?
Usual place. Is that your sole diet on the campus? Pre-packed stodge? Where did you get to last night? You made a very noisy entrance at whatever time it was. How late was it?
Right on my tomb, died under interrogation.
Beware the demon drink, my son.
His advice is unnecessary. Can't afford drink. Not habituated drink anyway.
Well, that's all the more reason to be more circumspect if you're not used to it. Oh, it's a pretty inoffensive bit of advice, isn't it?
I shall nominate you Mum of the Year.
Thanks.
The Mounties are back. It's a very odd aura for the urbane parliamentarian to carry around with him. Smell of saddle soap and horse shit.
David.
Is Dad going round the twist? And what's it going to be next? If Andrew takes up country and western, some Hammersmith boozer, is Dad going to tag along in his Buffalo Bill suit?
That's enough. You've stopped amusing me. Please, try to get through today without too much friction.
I always try.
Smells good.
Good morning.
Good God, he's virtual.
You see? Don't blame me.
What's all that about?
I was asking for a little sweetness and light.
Very desirable. David, the beer's in the fridge.
Do you want me to open it, sir?
Yes, please, old son.
And what were we today? Was it a couple of Regency box? Or was it cowboys? Tall in the saddle. The Magnificent Two. Billy the Kid and Son.
What?
Don't be so damn pompous, David.
Just pour us all some beer.
the pygmy quality that's so disappointing. It's Lilliputian. Even the jokes are minuscule.
Small detail is the essence of the diary. The accepted intention, from Pepys to Jennifer.
But that's supposed to be one of the leading political minds of the century. And he's supposedly giving us the truth about the way a cabinet runs the country.
He was an acute observer. I wouldn't rate his talents more highly than that.
Is it history?
Oh!
Watson is away down the left again. This time he's got two to cross to. Jennings coming.
There's simply one component, partial view. He should have scored then, Andrew.
Fine effort.
Doesn't seem to me to have complete coordination with his limbs.
So easy to sky those over.
Littleness.
Then screwed it back too far across the goal.
If he's got it right, the whole cabinet didn't have the mental power of the average rat catcher between them.
Worthless analogy. Vague insult betrays flounder in thought.
Less than 20 minutes remaining. But no suggestion that
What did you think of that cabinet?
are in any way content to
Not a
settle
lot.
the point they've got.
It dealt in expediency. It was quick on its feet, but inhibited. It was like these people, it had no strategy. It had nobody who could use the long ball.
Christ, Dad. Politics for the common man.
He is ever in my thoughts, David.
Dangerous.
Who do you make man of the match, Dad?
Jennings will seize on it.
The referee.
Predictable politician's answer.
Bonds. Goal couldn't quite hook it back.
Take it easy.
What?
Mind how you go. This industry is very impressive, but oughtn't you to be doing some homework now?
It'll get done.
The same devotion that you're showing to these monsters.
You can't expect that. I like doing this.
I've noticed. How was your father's horsemanship today?
I think he's doing pretty well, considering. He gets a lift out of it anyway. That's the main thing, isn't it?
Of course. Well, don't let the detestable homework completely slip your mind. It is supposed to take priority, remember?
All right, don't keep going on about it. Dad doesn't. Honest, I'm keeping up to date.
Why do you think it is you and David fight more now than when he was here all the time?
Did you say fight?
Well, squabble then, wrangle.
You asked me to pay him more attention. David is naturally argumentative, hence we argue as we
You
speak.
tease him.
He takes me on.
You could be a bit gentler.
He's very aggressive.
He tries to sound like you.
I don't think so. Did I ever have that priggishness of his?
You drive him into corners so he strikes attitudes. He's trying to be grown up and he isn't quite. You might remember that.
When I was his age, I'd been in a war for a
Is
year.
that relevant?
I'm saying he's not a child. What happens if I defer to him? He'll then accuse me of condescension.
Don't you like him?
Not a great deal.
You're not fair with them, Chris. You know that, don't you?
David can be very tiresome. I cannot tolerate that righteousness. Adolescent moralizing is the least acceptable kind. Censure without experience, rectitude out of ignorance, the lofty judgment delivered from the vantage point of naivety.
He's immature and idealistic, a very young 19.
Well, I don't like being hectored by him. I have no doubt he's a dominant figure among the university infant Fabians, but his clever little boy's callow polemic merely irritates me. What are you laughing at?
You're so alike.
Rubbish.
You've always been impatient with David and indulgent with Andrew. How can you discriminate like that?
Andrew doesn't inspect me. He accepts me.
We must all do that, must we? No questions must be asked.
Every hour of my public life I'm being questioned, weighed, suspected, judged, doubted. The politician is everyone's great disappointment. It is our essential function. That ant-heap down at Westminster exists primarily to be blamed. I play my apportioned role as the public punchbag.
For God's sake!
Are you surprised? I hope for some trust, at least from my own children.
You have to win it.
Andrew gives me that.
You buy it from him. I didn't want to say that,
Thank you.
but it's true.
I don't see any affectation in him, or greed, or viciousness, or anything else that suggests a spoiled brat.
He isn't one.
Then how am I harming him?
It isn't Andrew I'm worried about. It's you.
Well, I suppose I should be grateful, even if confused. What's the matter? Has your boyfriend dropped you?
More tea? Toast? Anything?
There's a great thing in here about Dad's favourite centre-half, Terry Mancini. He says, no more fortuitous eye for the trajectory of a flying object since King Harold. Good, isn't it?
Is that the publication known as the voice of football's radical left?
It's the best. Always having a go at the powers that be.
Football's Tribune?
More like Private Eye.
I'd say that the running of football was about as close as you'd ever get in your life to what might be called a political concern. What do you think, Andrew? That's why you charm your father so much.
I don't like that word.
Charm? Bit sissy, is it?
Nor that one. No one said that in living memory.
Thank you. Very gracefully expressed. You and David pursued your usual acrimonious silence yesterday. What's the matter there? You used to get on well enough.
He sneers at everything.
Everything you and your father do, you mean?
Just about everything anybody does. I find him boring.
Well, he's a different type from you. You're a natural enthusiast, exuberant, physical.
He's got no real friends. That's David's trouble. That's why he comes home at weekends and takes it out on Dad and me.
Well, why don't you give him the odd cheery word? It's no effort to you, it is to him.
It's difficult. When he picks on Dad, I don't think it's fair.
Don't you think your father's quite good at looking after himself?
He looks dead knackered to me. I think he ought to get out of politics.
Can you really imagine him doing that?
Well, it hasn't done him any good, has it? I mean, they've just left him to rot, haven't they?
Have you ever told him that?
He never mentions work to me. I wouldn't give him my opinion unless he asked.
Well, what do you think he'd do if he left politics?
I haven't thought about that. My point is, well, it's not as if he's got any ambitions left, there is it? I mean, he can't have. He's just sitting about looking on. I think he's taken a bit of weight off since he started the riding now, don't you?
Did I overstate the matter last night?
Which particular one? We had our increasingly familiar brisk canter through the trials and tribulations associated with this household.
I made a bad joke about Brian Griffin.
Oh, yes. So you did.
I'm trying to apologize.
Why so tentative? Not as if you're short of practice.
I thought you were pitying me. I'm never going to stand for that.
So you conjure into our lives this steamy affair I'm supposed to be having with someone who's been a mutual friend for God knows how long. I knew it was in your mind. I didn't believe you'd actually convince yourself it was true, so that you could trot out the accusation when the going got too rough for you.
I'm sorry I hurt you.
You haven't hurt me. You've appalled me. I like that man very much. He's a damned likable,
considerate, attentive person. Yes, he and I see a lot of each other. We have two common interests, his writing and you. A lot of the time we sit looking at each other, caring about you. You've always needed, demanded a hell of a lot of caring. But that isn't enough for you anymore, is it? Now that you've decided you're a casualty, a victim of life's conspiracy, you have to identify the traitors in your life, even if it means inventing them. And that's how Brian Griffin and I get into bed together, in one of your squalid little fantasies of persecution.
I'm naturally jealous. You know that.
I'm having lunch with him today. Would you care to join us? We've just finalized the text of his new novel. It's good. It's not dazzling. It's not the product of an exceptional talent. It's not dotted with rare insights and understanding. Not, to be candid, exciting, but it has a reassuring, agreeable, it's got solidity. Do you want to come along?
You find me disturbing lately, as well as, shall we say, disheartened.
Between the whiskey and the obsessive derision for everything that follows it, you're doing yourself a lot of damage. You use these weekends at home to dry out and let Andrew coax a bit of genuine feeling for life back into you. Christ, that boy loves you. I'm glad you make sure he doesn't see you at your worst.
He knows I get a lot of scotch down.
I'm talking about those moods you reserve for the early hours. After a late sitting, when you watch the front benchers performing their various pirouettes, and you reminded yourself that you, by right of your brilliance, ought to be there, and how much better you could do it. And then you've come reeling back here to snarl out your frustration and reminisce so eloquently about your distant sexual triumphs.
I don't pretend I'm proud of those performances. But don't you pretend they're frequent.
Who is counting?
Well, you've given me a great start to the week, Alice. Lift Up Your Hearts was never like this.
That man was the last of a particular old breed. The last I knew, anyway. Reared on the public library, the Wesleyan Sunday School, and printer's ink instead of cod liver oil. He could quote by the yard from The Ragged-Trousered Philanthropist, A Tale of Two Cities, and the National Union of Journalists Rule Book. Oh, and he seemed to know the Book of Job verbatim. But when in drink, he'd give you the lot with gestures and a vibrato like Judy Garland.
A joy to know, obviously.
Yes. Yes, he was a defiant relic. Sort of man who gives nostalgia a good name. Of course, I was too young at the time to appreciate him properly. I was the small boy on the paper. I just thought he was an amusing lump of the living past about the place. But I wish I'd been perceptive enough to see the decency and courage in all that eccentricity.
Let's drink to him.
Why not?
You're very good for me, Brian.
Oh? How's that?
Your sanity, your blitheness, I think that's the quality.
Well, I hope you're not telling me I'm smug.
No hang-ups, no resentments. It makes such a refreshing change. What are you going to eat?
Are you quite sure my publisher's paying?
Certainly.
Right, well, I shall start with the gigantic asparagus.
Quite right.
The very last thing we want just now from a member of the cabinet is that he should go trampling all over another one's territory just like that, out of the blue. Using a bad word for the political nature of his performance. All prepared with handouts for the press, calculating his timing so there's all the weekend for the bloody media to whip up another bloody great Labour split story. The man's a liability. It's like having a rat in the privy. Terrible time I'm going to have now in my constituency, damping down the wild boys. Look, Clem, they were saying, the government is riddled with the right wing, just like we said it would be. The phony socialists, the self-protecting middle class, the ones who'd like to peg us down in the dirt.
Clem, come on now. Something quite trivial and really rather endearing has happened. The man has allowed himself to be caught thinking out loud. Something he should never do, in your opinion, because the activity reveals what is supposed to be concealed. That ministerial belief and common ministerial utterance have no necessary connection. But the public is aware of that intuitively, Clem. All we've got here is a little light knockabout entertainment for the political correspondents to nourish. It's light relief. People don't object to a dispute among ministers. On the contrary, the public's relieved to see it. Just for once they can catch a glimpse of human beings losing their rag instead of the usual unconvincing front of collective agreement. Don't worry about it, Clem.
Well, that sort of stuff will get me a bloody thick ear if I tried it on with my people.
Oh, I'm not suggesting you should, Clem.
I've got some very anxious men breathing down my neck.
Haven't we all?
I just don't think the party can afford public rows between ministers, especially over something as critical as the social contract. My people are going to want something from me to allay fears and suspicion.
Sing to him, Clem.
It ought really to be called the Return of the Native, but that's been done.
Back to square one. Yes, well, it lacks a little magic, perhaps.
You see, what I think about February the 30th is it's a smashing title. It'll jump off the cover, but it doesn't suit the book. It isn't enough, as the Americans say.
Too flip.
It isn't a Brian Griffin title.
I was very proud of it. But you're quite right, it won't do.
I think you should keep working on the word winter. There's a sense of weight and eventfulness about winter.
Very well, ma'am. I shall do as you say.
I wish all my writers took my suggestions so equably.
I'm sure you get your way.
I'm just a writer's midwife.
More coffee.
This one's going to sell, Brian, honestly. You'll get some decent promotion. The chairman's a fan of yours. What are you going to do next?
Oh, a little holiday, I think.
Anything exotic?
Well, I'm taking the kids to the seaside. The French seaside, Brittany.
Well done. Presumably not with Pamela.
No.
All finished.
Well, let's say that it's off at the moment.
She puzzles me.
Yes, well, I think that my equability goes sour on her. Maybe she's rejected it for good by now, you see. With the unequable, it's not easy to read intentions.
How do the kids take all this?
Politely. I think they certainly want to go to Brittany.
Because you're taking them.
And how are your two men?
They have their problems.
Anything big?
It's called Dad at the moment. I'm not sure whether that's big or very small. That's his problem, too.
You know, when I first knew him, when I was the newest of God's gifts to campaigning journalism and making very free use of his grasp of a social problem, and one that would get me a nice big byline in the Evening Chronicle, Chris had a self-belief that was positively glittering.
I know.
Oh, no, Peter. No committees. Not at this point in the game. I'm well out of all that.
Yes, but why? At least you'd be involved. Well, employed, if you like.
When the party is in power, that's not gainful employment. The committee is something you use when you're in opposition, when you're on the attack. Then the committee is a launching pad for the ambitious. And by God, I invested some sweat in my early days here. At one stage, I was a walking textbook on industrial safety. I just crammed the subject like a foreign language. I could puke my figures on the management of private insurance that the companies didn't even know they'd got. I actually enjoyed it. That elation when I'd watch a minister wriggling, squirming, desperately trying to prise himself out of the trap that I'd set for him. He'd be close to panic, even with all his advisors and comforters from his department lining the walls. He'd still turn to jelly because he hadn't got the speed of thought. Exciting, wicked days. Sorry about that. Little splurge. Put it down to the scotch.
Yeah. I was impressed by the passion.
So was I.
But you're not saying that you were actually happier in opposition, right?
Some people remember the Second World War with a perverse affection. It's a matter of recalling a time when they were most claimed by life. And in my own case, I have to admit that I've never since felt quite the same kind of certainty, if you like, the same awareness of my own potency as I did during those first 5 years here.
You must have been bitterly disappointed it took so long before he gave you a job.
And then such a small job for such a short time. However, that was better than the total disregard which was yet to come.
Well, I've never fully understood why he left you out this time.
Mm-hmm. How many of our favored people is one permitted to insult, and how often?
Yes, well, since when was politics about being amiable?
Oh, there's a time and place for it. But I've always found the prudent kind of amiability very distasteful. I have a dangerous liking for mischief.
A lot of us think you should be given something to do.
Thank you.
Well, how keen are you?
You could only ask that if you felt some doubt.
Well, it's certainly got nothing to do with the way you chop people up still. You don't need the booze, Chris. You don't need the seedy ciphers you waste your time on in here.
Is that a personal view? Or does it come out of some kind of group discussion?
Is it offensive? There are a few of us who've got together over some special concerns. Now, we've only met a couple of times. We want to give ourselves some kind of definite focus. Now, your name crops up often, and so do opinions, attitudes we associate with you. It just seems absurd that you're not one of us. But I was asked to make the point.
2 points. 1, come and join us. 2, behave yourself.
There are things that government must be told. Now, we need your standing.
Oh. Do I still have some? Haven't you noticed I've been getting the wrong kind of publicity lately? 1 or 2 editors have been dragging me through the "where are they now" treatment.
You mean labels like the nearly man? Look, a year ago, you wouldn't have bothered to read this stuff.
That may be significant.
Look, do I have to spell it out in embarrassing detail? You've got a lot of friends here. Now, we're prepared to allow you to make use of us. And we want to make use of what we think you still have to offer. And that is your integrity and your ability to command a hearing. Now, you happen to have more of both than most members.
But you think the crucial question is whether I've still got the stomach for it. That's why it's you who's making the approach.
Yes, well, I've got to see someone. You know where to find me.
Okay, keep back. Keep back there. Come on, keep back. Right back.
sir. I saw what happened. I saw everything. It was him. He's to blame. They think it's a racetrack, all these van drivers. The kid didn't have a chance. No chance at all. Went straight into him. They don't give a damn. I saw it all.
All right, madam. Take it easy, please.
Didn't have a cat in hell's chance.
All right, madam.
I saw it. I saw it.
Bye, Alice. Give me a ring if there's anything at all.
Chris, I don't want to pile on the agony, but we haven't had much chance to talk. I thought you'd like to know that I brought a lot of messages down with me from the constituency. Oh, Alice, I was just telling Chris here that I brought a lot of messages down from the constituency. See, when the news got around, well, that phone hardly ever stopped ringing. The folks up there, you know, a lot of things to thank you for, and well, they want you to know that they feel very deeply for you. Of course, they're the people, you know, that knew you when first Chris arrived in the town. Aye. Still a lot of us left, you know. Aye. And they're the ones that'll be most upset by this terrible thing. But I know that it's David they tend to think of whenever your family's mentioned, but that's only because they remember him as a baby. Aye, that first election campaign. You won't remember much about that, I don't suppose. It's among one of my happiest memories. Chris, we were unbeatable.
Yes, they were great days, Bernard.
They were that. Oh, well, I'll better be getting along, I think.
Thank you, Bernard. I hope your wife will be better soon.
Oh, it's nothing serious, you know. It's just the journey we thought about. It didn't seem wise. Well, goodbye, Chris. Goodbye, lad.
Goodbye, Bernard, and thank you for everything, all you've said. I'll be coming up soon. I know there's a great deal to be done.
Nay, take your time. No need for you to go rushing up there. I'll tell you this, Alice. There's nothing that I know of that won't wait for a bit.
You will hold the fort, won't you? Well, you've done it often enough before. Thank you. And you'll be seeing me shortly.
Ah, of course you will. Take care of yourself. Oh, goodbye, David.
Goodbye, Mr. King.
Mary?
Goodbye, Mr. King.
I'll get your raincoat, Bernard.
I don't know where it is, you know. Someone took it up.
You all right, Dad?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks, David. Do you want any help, Mary?
No, I'll see to it. But why don't you sit down, Chris? You seem to have been rooted there for hours.
Have I? They were nice kids, those, weren't they? What was that teacher's name?
Pritchard.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, I think I'll go into the study for a while.
Dad.
Oh, David. Come in.
Do you want anything to eat?
No, thank you.
Drink? Okay.
Don't go, David. Come and sit down. How's your mother?
She's gone to bed. She told me to tell you she was taking a sleeping pill.
How are you?
I'm all right.
You've been very helpful these last few days. Thank you very much. I'm afraid I've been rather seized up.
That's all right. We know how you felt.
Extraordinary. Andrew's accent. Almost a Cockney kid.
It was in school.
Didn't affect you all. Was Andrew, would he have been the lucky one of the three of us, I wonder? He had a very different cast of personality from you and me. Immediate emotional responses. It isn't always easy, is it, being possessed of an intellectual nature? It can be isolating. It isn't that one claims any excellence or superiority because of it, as so many people seem to imagine. It's simply that the mind, the nature, reacts in the only way it can, with instant examination, evaluating compulsively. The thought processes are always ahead of the emotions. Like when the intellectual says yes or no, he's seldom making a moral judgment, and that can be very isolating, because most people deal overwhelmingly in moral judgments. That's what makes politics so arduous, and yet tantalizing, seductive, addictive for someone like me. I assume, because of my nature, that there are solutions which must be found to reconcile conflicts in society, to sustain individual freedoms and public well-being. Yes. To reconcile. That is a compulsion. And yet I find so much of political argument conducted in slogans, a substitute for thought, even at the highest level, because the currency of politics is banality. It is what? Arrogance, self-delusion, perhaps even some sort of rogue romanticism that keeps someone of my kind drifting along still believing he can help to change that and many other things long after doubt and even despair have set in. I still want office. I still expect power. Absurdly, after so many years of denial. It's the assumption I make that reason is paramount, so I'm bound to prevail. That's what grips me, petrifies me, in this state of suspicious yet relentless hope. Andrew would never have had to say anything like that, would he? I hope you never do.
You haven't been a failure. You've written your books. And there's more to come. Aren't there?
Maybe.
As the handsome, grave, white-coated chap in the old Horlicks ads used to say, Chris, there's nothing organically wrong. You're very fit. Heart, lungs, blood pressure, all in entirely respectable condition. I must say I'm surprised. Considering the way you've been mistreating your flesh and organs for as long as I've known you, there's every reason why you should be in a very poor way indeed. You're a bit tense. And it wouldn't do you any harm to lose half a stone. Apart from that, you're in exasperatingly robust health. What did you expect me to find?
Exactly that.
Should we congratulate each other? The last time you came to me, you were about to fight an election. And what's the reason for this visit?
I thought it timely, Stephen.
How's Alice?
Well, she's getting over it. She's a bit tired, of course. She took all the weight when it happened. I'm afraid I just switched off.
Oh, don't be guilty about it. The body makes its own decisions sometimes. Why don't you take her away for a couple of weeks? Or longer, even. The country can manage without you. You know what I think about MPs. If every one of you went to sleep tomorrow for 12 months, under proper medical supervision, of course, the nation would benefit enormously. The balance of payments would right itself in sheer relief at blessed neglect, like an irritated bowel responding to starvation.
I've got to get on with some work.
Resist it. Do yourselves a good turn.
You're going to use Andrew, aren't you? You're going to grasp an opportunity. Sympathy is available and mustn't be wasted. The politician will turn grief to advantage with dignity. There'll be nothing crude about it. Christopher Collinson, MP, may be many things, but nobody could ever call him vulgar.
Do you want to break yourself up, Alice? Because that's what's going to happen if you keep on...
Are you telling me I'm wrong? You know you're using him. The bereaved father is unassailable. So now, after years of sulking, yes, years of it, every now and then you've primed yourself with a big show, an assault on the constituency to make sure they still know what you look like, a sudden brilliant bit of fireworks on the box or in the house to grab a few headlines and remind the world at large that Wonder Boy is still around. Most of the time you've just been nursing your frustration with that practiced air of martyrdom. Until now. Now it's brave, resilient Chris. Rededicated, off the bottle, purged by tragic ordeal, marching back into the crusade. Don't tell me you're not using the death of our son.
Alice, please listen.
Don't touch me.
Please. Please listen. There is a sense in which you're right. What's happened, losing Andrew, has done something to me. I'm not going to try to define it, to say that it's shocked me into action, or that I must try to achieve something in his memory, or that I feel compelled to immerse myself in work so that I won't cripple myself by dwelling on his death. Perhaps none of those things is really true, and yet perhaps there's a little truth in all of them. It would be pointless to try to analyze what I'm doing, and I don't think it's necessary to justify it. Someone I loved has died. Probably much more important than that. Somebody who loved me has died. And because of that, I feel something is demanded of me. I must do something. If I appear to be exploiting Andrew, I can only tell you that I don't know I am. And if it seems to you disgusting that I should choose this time to involve myself ambitiously in the intrigues and aggressions of politics, I can only say that is what my work entails. I am presented with an opportunity. Perhaps it's been confronting me for years, and I haven't seen it because I've been too distracted by disappointment and, it may be, fear of failure. But opportunity exists only when you see it yourself. Do you understand me, Alice?
What matters is whether I believe you.
And do you?
I don't know.
Well, we have managed to grow a long way apart, haven't we?
Have we ever known very much about each other?
I thought so.
Describe me.
You're the woman I love.
I would have accepted that once. It would have been enough.
And it isn't now.
I don't know what you mean when you say it. You've ignored me, belittled me, shut me out from you so many times.
Well, you've never been some meek, submissive, suburban drudge. It's never been that kind of marriage. You've given me hell when you felt like
I fought back.
You started rows.
I tried to force you out of those pathetic, groveling bouts of self-pity which you enjoy so much. I could have left you a dozen times when you were like that.
What detained you?
Andrew!
Well, you've got to hand it to them. It's an impressive piece of work, deliberate timing. What they're saying, in effect, is here you are, Chancellor, we've done your budget for you. And he can't dismiss it, not with the Transport House seal of approval on it, because that's the implication of all this stuff from the research department.
The timing helps us, actually.
Well, how can I do that? They've got in ahead of us.
So it gives us something to discuss. A good, respectable reason for getting together. We're entitled to concern ourselves with a major statement of aims from the left. We can be expected to comment upon it. So, we don't have to pick our own issue for the first skirmish. We use theirs. Actually, this cuts a couple of corners for us. The government's got to pay attention to us right from the start because we're offering help. A bit ingratiating, but they'll be grateful.
But most of the group were expecting to kick off with labor relations. It's one of the main reasons they wanted you.
That could come next. Let's seize on this first.
Well, when we get into the committee rooms, do you want to launch straight into it?
There's nothing like starting right off the cuff. I've always found spontaneity exhilarating.
All right, Chris. It's all yours.
Brothers, we are on our way.